Happy day, friends. It is day 13, and we are here live on the scene, working our way through this 31-day meditation journey, committing ourselves to living a life of devotion. And I'm grateful to you for being here. I'm grateful to you for showing up. I am grateful to you for honoring the light within you, for honoring the essence of who you are, and for making a decision. I'm proud of you for making a decision to live a life that is devoted to the truth of who you are. So offer yourself a few words of thanksgiving in this moment for showing up, for being devoted to the essence of who you are. We are going to dive right in to this session. We are focusing on devoting ourselves to love. So we'll take our 3 deep breaths in together so that we can settle into this moment, so that we can settle into this space that we have created for ourselves, this sacred space that we have cultivated, that we have created, that we have decided, this sacred space that we have decided to step into so that we can receive what it is that we need to receive as we move throughout this process. So go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to place one hand on your heart space, feeling your heartbeat, feeling your life force energy flow through you as you are breathing in and out. We're going to settle in with heart activation breath. Remember to, as you inhale, you're sending that breath into your heart space, feeling your chest expand. And as you exhale, sending that breath back down through your chest. Exhaling completely out. So we'll take our deep breath in. And exhale. Allow yourself to relax. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. Breathing into your chest. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release your hand and go ahead and open your eyes. I'll introduce the mantra and then we'll move into the guided meditation. So today's mantra says, I am rooted in love. You saw it on my t-shirt during yesterday's session. I am rooted in love. I am rooted in love. Allow yourself to write that down. Repeat it out loud a couple of times. I am rooted in love. So this morning we're going to take some time to explore what it is that we might need to let go of. What it is that might distract us from the fact that we are rooted in love. And we're going to do that through meditation. So now that you've written down the mantra and you've said it out loud a couple of times, go ahead and close your eyes and just rest your hands by your side or on your knees, in your lap. And allow yourself to just listen to the sound of my voice. Taking your attention to the space between your brows. And in your mind's eye, I want to begin to imagine or see yourself standing in front of some stairs. And begin to notice yourself walking up each step. Notice yourself reaching the top of the stairs, and at the top of the stairs there's a door. And notice yourself open the door and enter into the room on the other side of the door. You step in slowly, becoming aware of the surroundings in the room. And in the center of the room, you see a table. And at this table, you see 4 chairs. And one chair at the head of the table is empty, so notice yourself walk towards that chair and begin to sit down. And as you find yourself seated at the head of the table, you notice that there are 3 other versions of you sitting at this table. And just notice and observe what versions of yourself are seated there with you at that table. And once you've identified who is seated there with you at that table, notice yourself ask out loud to these 3 versions of yourself. What is it that I need to let go of in order to remain rooted in love? What is it that I need to let go of in order to remain rooted in love? And you notice the first version of yourself stand up and they write 2 words on the board. Notice the 2 words. Take note. And then notice this version of yourself sit down. And then you notice the next version of yourself stand up and walk over to the board, and this version of yourself writes 3 words on the board. Can you see, can you take note of what 3 words were written on the board? And then this version of yourself takes a seat, and you notice the last version of yourself that is there with you in the room stand up and walk towards the board. And this version writes 1 word. And you take note of this 1 word that this version of yourself has written on the board. And then you notice this version of yourself sit back down at the table. And then in your mind's eye, notice yourself get up along with these other versions of yourself. Notice yourself give each of them a hug. You're telling each of them thank you for teaching you, for showing you, for guiding you. And then notice yourself walk back towards the door. You open the door and you begin to walk back down the stairs. And as you make it to the bottom of the stairs, you notice yourself back in the space that you're currently in, seated where you are, lying down where you are. And we'll take 3 deep breaths in together to let go of this image. So taking a deep breath in, sighing the breath out. Deep breath in. Sighing the breath out. Deep breath in. And sigh the breath out. And then go ahead and gently open your eyes and take a moment to write down the words that may have come through for you. If there were no words that came through, that's totally fine. Maybe you just take a few moments to just write how you felt holding that image in your mind, going into that space within yourself. And just notice what it is that comes through as you're writing. But just take a couple of moments. And then we'll go ahead and close our eyes one more time. And I want you to take your attention to your heart space, to the center of your chest, in your mind's eye, holding your attention there on that space. And we'll take a few more deep breaths in together. And as you exhale, I want you to imagine roots flowing down from the center of your chest into the earth. So we'll breathe in deep through our nose. Exhaling out through your nose, and as you exhale, imagining roots at the center of your chest flowing down into the earth. Taking a deep breath in. Exhaling. Deep breath in. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhaling. Pausing the breath at the top. And then sighing your breath out. Resting in the silence, in the stillness. Allowing yourself to just witness and observe. And then gently opening your eyes when you're ready. Repeating the mantra out loud. I am rooted in love. I am rooted in love. I am rooted in love. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being devoted. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for putting love first in all situations. because it is that love that you are carrying within you. It is that love that you are that is going to heal you and also heal the world. I will see you tomorrow.